What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So last March 21st was a special day in my life. I did my first solo as a student pilot and I recorded myself, and today I will be reacting to myself how I flew in my first solo. So let's start. Here we go.
I think that's a good angle, yeah. Good. If it falls down, please don't care about it. Good.
So my instructor set up the camera for me and he got out of the aircraft, and yeah, that's how it started. Wind was calm, the weather was very good for a solo, so he allowed me for a solo after one check ride. Like, we flew one traffic pattern and then we went for the I went for the solo. I'm sorry, I just have one angle of the camera. Couldn't find more cameras for myself, and I also could not record the recordings or anything. But yeah, let's see how it goes. You can see how nervous I am. Just breathing heavily and taking my time. Actually, that's a good thing. You should take your time. You should not be panicked and worried about this. I'm aligning the aircraft just and started taxiing. I think my instructor is speaking with me. Usually we taxi at around 15 knots, but today I was instructed to taxi maximum at 10 knots, so the taxiing is quite long. I did do that mistake all the time, that I won't relax while taxiing and I take my hand off the control panel, but you should not do that. But I'm just trying to relax myself. Yeah, here again, I'm taking the hand off the control panel, which you should not. So far so good. So it's an international airport, and even though it's not that busy, it's really huge. It has a 2.5-kilometer runway, so you can see that I'm taxiing for a very long time. I used the taxiway Bravo. Like, the runway direction on the day was to left. Everything's fine. Taxi is really nothing. The only mistake I'm doing is I'm taking my hand off the control wheel. I think I'm close to the runway. I can almost see my flight school building. Yeah, meaning I'm close to the runway right now. And yes, still not stopped. I was sweating all the time this day, because even though it's not the hottest of the days compared to the other days, it was sunny, like bright sun and hot. So I kept sweating on my hands and I was like trying to get off it, but you shouldn't take the hand off the yoke at any circumstances. I'm trying to do the takeoff procedures, as you can see, and same time communicating with my instructor. And now I'm going for the takeoff checklist. I did it at the beginning, but I wanted to make sure that my life is not in danger. I didn't want to make any risk. Yeah, all of the checklist. I'm setting the trim for takeoff. Visually, mm-hmm. Yeah, takeoff checklist done. I'm sorry that you cannot hear the communication. Probably what I told was Hotel for Bravo Delta Yankee holding point runway 2 to left, ready for departure. Yeah. Oh, I think I was still communicating with the instructor though. Maybe afterwards I'll be saying the ready for departure communication. Yeah, now I'm pressing the button and communicating. Being comfortable. The aircraft is pretty old. You can see that my seat is aligned too much back. I'm sitting in a very awkward position because my seat was not adjustable, so I had to just lean forward to like grab the controls and So now I'm taking off. I'm lining up on the runway and about to do the takeoff. Sing to the runway. You can see the you can see the deep breath. I post the video for a while. Like it was really nervous. Like you're flying an aircraft. Just I look at my right side. No one's there. Usually throughout all of my training, the instructor was next to my right hand side. He was always saying speed, altitude, everything. But today I know that he's not gonna be there. That I need to take control of the aircraft and also of my life. It's interesting. Let's see. Deep breath, cleaning the hand, and yeah, full throttle, center line. Now pulling on the throttle. Now we took off, decrease the pitch for acceleration and then pull back again. Wasn't the best of the takeoff though. I know that, but safe enough. Upwind. So turning for the crosswind leg, still climbing, maintaining 70 knots as usual. Everything's fine, weather's fine. I look nervous, but I still made sure that I'm doing everything properly. Procedures, switches, everything. Still climbing. You can see that sweat, everything comes when you're just alone in an aircraft. Okay, I leveled off, reduced the power, and now I'm doing the downwind turn. You can barely see the runway like behind my neck in the video. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we are flying parallel to the runway. You can see the runway like just through the windshield, like to my the window to my left side. Also the taxis, everything, even this Debrecen city. It's a wonderful city, and the airport itself is great for training because it's not the busiest. Sometimes you get IFR traffic, but yeah, it's wonderful place for flying to learn flying. I'm still flying downwind, waiting for the runway to be 45 degrees back to my left. Now I'm making the communication, probably saying like quarter of about Delta Yankee, turning left hand base for runway 22 left, something like that, and the ATC might respond with the wind details and stuff. I'm again saying like runway 22 left free, quarter of about Delta Yankee, and now we're starting the turn after reducing the power. Good. You can see I'm trying to decelerate and maintain level as we should in the base turn. And yeah, you can see the airport may be far. Yeah, that is the runway which you see just next to the instrument panel, and also you can see how sunny it was. So I'm trying to descend in the base a bit. I reduced my power a lot. You know, you will not descend unless you maintain at least 70 knots. So I'm pitching up to reduce my speed and descent, like trimming. And now you can see the runway. I'm turning for the final. So far, almost 3/4 of the traffic pattern is done, but this is the most important part: the final approach and landing. Let's see. Okay. Turn for the final switches and flaps maybe 20 degrees. Trying to maintain the runway track probably. This day it was a bit challenging as it was warm. I'm, if you can see, I'm passing above the city. So the city, like there's roads, it's getting heated and there's updrafts. So the final approach, I had to make sure that I reduce the power a lot in order to maintain my glide path. But at the end of the the approach, when you're close to the runway, there's grass. At that point, you're again going to sink. I had to add power just to maintain my glide path towards the threshold or the aiming point. The runway to the left here has a displaced threshold because of the city, so I obviously had to add power at the end. We'll see how it goes. Trying to maintain the glide path. Still good. I think I'm almost 500, 600 feet above now. I mean, AMSL, but above the ground maybe 300 feet, now maybe 200. So close, 100 feet. I think I've set the flaps 30 earlier and I landed with flaps 30. Now here's the landing. Loaded a bit. Yeah, jumped back off once, but not hard at all. It wasn't the best landing, never, but still my first solo landing that I would accept it because I didn't die. A safe landing is a good landing. Taking off again. My takeoffs were not the best this day because I was not giving my best, my Radar inputs were not enough to maintain the center line. I was going a bit to the left, but I corrected the track, always looking at the track, and I can't look back at the runway, but still, yeah. Let's maybe skip a bit. Yeah, I'm flying crosswind just as the previous one. Let's go to the final part. Communicating for the base turn. Oh no. I'm just talking with my instructor actually. It's really helpful at that moment. Like he's saying that okay, you made a good landing, you made a safe landing, you're fine, you're doing fine, and he's encouraging me when you're doing a solo. That's really important because in your mind you're thinking, did I just screw it up? Will my next landing be even worse? So that mentality while flying is really important, really important. Now I'm making the base communication. Turn left hand base for runway 2 to left intersection touch and go. And again responding runway 2 to left 3/4 above Delta Yankee. This aircraft's pretty old as maybe you can see, but I probably know that it's pretty much old, but I still was accepting the aircraft for the solo. Performs well still. Then for the final, let's skip a bit. Yes. Okay. Now I think I made the final turn. Switches and flaps maybe. My approaches were almost perfect. Like I always aim for the threshold, but like the displaced threshold, but always managed to like make the runway at the perfect point. My energy management was good, flaps at good times. Maintained the center line, there was no crosswind, so it was pretty much easy. Almost 100 feet above, very close to the runway, you can see that. I'm having a hard time with the yoke. Now we're flaring, flying level, pulling. You have to pull very slowly at this point. Yes, you see, I touched down. Yeah, now I touched down. And yeah, safe landing. And flaps off. I'm waiting for the center line and then power back again. Take off. You can see I'm trying to control the aircraft going to the left, but at this point you should not use the yoke. I was just trying to maintain it level just by a bit of left aileron, but you should always give the right rudder. Let's also skip a bit for this one. I'm doing the procedures at the safe altitude. Again the crosswind turn. Let's speed run it a bit. You can see I'm always like clearing my sweat, trying to have the best grip of the yoke. Checking the camera, checking you guys. I think I'm Yeah, I made the base communication. I'm turning for the base. Can see the beautiful Debrecen city down there. It's just not have that much huge buildings and stuff, so it's really good. It doesn't create huge amount of turbulence or anything. The runway is again visible next to my left. Let's reduce the speed again back to normal. And yeah, I'm making the final turn. Yeah, on the final approach. Let's see how I did my final landing of the day. I did three traffic patterns and three takeoff, three landings. This was the last, I think, during my second landing. I kept like holding the position even after touchdown, and it jumped slightly off because of the maybe the heating on the runway. Like I just held the position, but it jumped off. So at this point, in the third landing, I didn't pull too much. I made sure that I'm holding it in an intermediate position that I didn't want to float or jump up again. Yeah, I'm trying to land the aircraft, maintaining center line. Sometimes you need these aileron inputs just to make sure you're not moving away. Well, it's good. Yeah, it was a bit rougher than the previous landings, but still, I did not want to pull too much during the landing. Yeah, I finished my landing. You can see I'm like satisfied person. I know you can't see it in my face. I look like I'm like a dead zombie, but still, I was pretty satisfied with myself. I did. This was like the most important day in my life. Turning point, probably. Let's change the speed for taxiing. You don't need to see the taxiing much. Yeah, I took my hands off the yoke again, like after landing. Oh, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. Yeah, taxiing. Mm-hmm. Close to the hangar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bit of rough surface. Yes, I stopped at the hangar doing the procedures after stopping the aircraft, switching off everything, and getting back out. Can see my instructor there, he's recording. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's the end. And as you can see, it was there were ups and downs, but I somehow managed to finish it properly, safely. The most important thing, safely. And I will remember this day as one of the most important days in my life. And thank you guys for watching this with me, staying with me, and supporting me. Okay, at the end, I want to also tell you something that never give up on your dreams, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situations, no matter how hard life hits you. You have to always keep trying and always imagine it in your head, and it will happen someday. If you just give your fullest potential, it will happen for sure. Like while coming here from my country, I left my country back in 2023, came here for this program to become a pilot. and I had no idea how I will fly an aircraft because while coming here, I could not ride a bicycle. I was 21 years old when I started to learn to ride a bicycle. I do not have vehicle license, no any other sort of training, no glide training, nothing, but I still ended up flying an aircraft solo. So if you have a dream, if you think, if you assume yourself in a position, you just can make it. You just need to think it here and do it. Good luck with your life. See you with another video. Bye bye.